are live again.
Yeah, it's
I was going back and
Dockerization.
counting how many times I go live per day over the last week, and I think it was about average 3 times a day.
Wow.
So, but that's not so great because I guess I have the scrum every morning, so that's kind of one time. But anyways,
Yeah, so this is Dockerization, local support Dockerization part 2.
yes.
It's March and Faith.
Hello. So, I was just commenting that went quite smoothly. As far as getting the build working.
Yeah, and so I moved on to the next,
Oh, cool, awesome. No,
which
that's
was,
great.
I was supposed to do this. Okay, we done that, connecting. So connect to the database.
Yep, awesome.
So this is it.
Yep,
And I thought like going to this should take me to where my app is.
yep. And what happened?
Nothing.
You can just put localhost 3000 as well. Oh no, actually you can't.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, you can.
I can.
Oh, cool, awesome. And did that render the page?
No,
Interesting. Why not?
I don't know. Is it because
I think there's an error, right? You were if you go up to
where's the error? Oh
ah
yeah, I've gotten this twice. Cause even when I tried, okay, makes sense. So is it in the database configuration?
yeah.
Oh yeah, dev. Okay, makes sense. So I see where the dev is. Is this what they're saying?
It looks like it.
Okay. So the previous, do you want to see the previous file, or I could just show you via this?
I mean, I think what you did was you added the DB host DB.
I did copy. Okay.
Or did you do more than that?
Where are you? Oh, you don't.
I don't know what that is in Celsius. 450 degrees in Celsius. 230. Yeah.
I'm
Right.
trying
So
to. Okay, that's the end of it. So
the
I
one on the left is what it used to be, and the one on the right is what it.
yes.
So that's quite a lot of changes, huh?
Yeah, so it's just based on. Should I had to switch it based on this file.
Yeah, I guess like so the way that it's set up in website one would probably help out with this because we want to keep the database.yaml to be the same as it is now because people who are developing locally are going to be reliant on that setup to be able to continue working. So one of the things, like one of the mistakes that I made in getting it set up was that I put the that host DB in, and then it was working on Docker and got it merged in, and then realized that would inhibit people from being able to develop locally and would like require them to use Docker. So we don't want to do that.
Okay, so that's out of.
So one of the things,
What?
I guess I'll share my screen with you just to, I mean, this does look a little bit maybe potentially more complicated, but so what we have here on the
Question.
the thing is this wouldn't be the latest changes, maybe? I need to check.
Wait, there's something I've done. I do know what I've done. Okay. Should I focus on the screen?
Sure. So we actually have a Docker file.
What?
This isn't the latest.
What project is this? Local
This is
support.
website.
No, that's local support.
This is the website one.
Oh, okay.
Although, do you have are you maybe you could actually look at it. Can you go to the website one master or develop branch? Because I could go there, but I'm finishing up some PR review stuff on another branch, and then I'd have to do some stuff to get past that.
What do you want me to look at?
So we have So did you do a git pull upstream develop recently? Wow. Okay. So have a look there. You should in the Docker file, for example. No, the Docker. Sorry, not the Docker file. The Docker directory. Sorry. Right. Interesting. Yeah, that's because we've changed it. Okay. Sorry. Never mind. Forget what I was saying. If you go to the Docker compose .yaml. So there's a couple things that we can do similar, and there's some things that we're going to do differently. But you see there, like under the web build, they have the environment db host is equal to db on line 14 and 15. So that we'll probably want to copy in, because that's gonna, like, if you want to look at the database.yaml, it'll probably be clearer what that'll do. No, it's in config.
I can't say it. Okay.
A, B, C, D. There you go. There you go. Cool. So you can see there they have the host that's set to the environment DB host or blank. So you should be able to copy that over.
So I have copied two things. Should I copy this? I copied this.
Either one. It doesn't matter. You can do either one, like in whichever order you want.
So where exactly should I put it?
Yeah, there's quite a lot of stuff going on there, isn't it? I think so. It would be in the development environment that you're. So that was that was the way it was. That was the way it was before you started making changes.
Yeah.
That's strange. So it was already pointing to DB.
But this is the thing. I've just haven't done. This is not what was there before. When I ran this command, I was using a different database with YML file.
So you'll need to rebuild with Docker Compose and the hash and the tag build, because that Docker Compose up
So I quit.
Well, I mean, maybe I'm wrong. You can try going to localhost 3000 and see what happens. But I think you will need to, if you make changes, you'll need to. Yeah, hold on. Let me. I'm gonna open up a new thing and come to Rails, Agile Ventures, local support. So maybe.
So it's could not connect to server. So it's
Yeah. Okay. I've seen that before. All right. Well, that's
so
maybe to be
should I
back.
build it? Do you want me to build it? Or by the virtue of the fact that you're here, then I don't need to rebuild it?
I mean, I wouldn't worry about rebuilding it until we feel like we've got something that's gonna work. I guess like I'm trying to. So I'm trying to have a look like on my local
Should I
support.
focus on your screen? Or
You can. I was just trying to have a look at what it looks like, the database.yaml on my screen. And I don't even have a database.yaml. I have just the database.yaml.sample. So, oh, because it would be an environment, no? No. That's interesting. So how are things working on my computer? I think I need to actually think because it's ignored maybe. Config. Yeah. There we go. So this is already, this is kind of already set up for a Docker.
that's local support. You don't have a database that in your config file.
No,
I think
not
I'm
here.
I'm the one who created this. I think I'm the one who created it.
Who created?
I think I'm the one who created it.
You created this?
Yeah.
When?
Local support. Yeah, I'm the one who created it. No.
Oh, that's the Docker Compose stuff. I'm looking at the database.yaml.
And I do.
All right. Yeah, so sorry, if you could just can you go to the database.yaml?
Do you have that file?
I do. It just is not showing in my working tree, and I have to open it from the terminal for some reason. I think probably because it's get ignored. So okay.
I feel like I created this. I had
right now.
Sample. Yeah.
I don't think so because I have it and I haven't pulled down from anything you've done. What you created was a Docker compose.yaml? Or did you you say you copied it?
Okay, maybe not. I thought I did this.
Yeah, I think you already had it because you were already going to the website and doing some local development. So you must have had it already. Because so if you go back to that database.yaml, I guess that is that in the get ignore?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's get ignored, which means that we can change it. And it's not gonna.
Does that mean like just by the virtue of the fact that it's get ignored, does that give anyone the right to change it?
Yeah. You can do whatever you want on, if it's get ignored, you can do whatever you want to it.
And how are you going to, like, I thought it's going to affect how your app will run now that you've changed something.
Well, what we will need to do, like, for people who want to use the Docker file, we will need to provide them with some sort of instructions on how to set up the database.yaml. So that can mean that we create like in the Docker directory, we create a database.yaml. I mean, maybe we could just do that straight away. But like, I guess the way it is, I think the way it is, if I'm not mistaken, the way it is in the local support, because that's get ignored. So that means that that doesn't come when you clone the repo. So when I think that was there's some step that you need to copy, like the database the sample or something like that. Like, if I don't know, if you go to the database .yaml .sample maybe, and have a look at, compare the differences. And while you're doing that, I can have a look at the how it tells you to get set up, because I don't remember, but
Different. Another thing.
they're different.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did notice that as well. So I'm not sure how this database.yaml gets copied in, but if it's
Is
get
your
ignored,
database.yml the same as mine?
yeah, it is.
Okay.
That's what I was having a look, because it didn't make sense to me that it was configured for Docker. Like, it's really interesting. Like, I wonder if the old Docker actually never worked, or if it does work. Like, yeah. Anyways, so installation instructions. So if that's being get ignored, then it wouldn't be here in the GitHub, unless it was get ignored after the GitHub instructions were after.
Wait, question.
Yeah.
Whatever we are trying to debug or figure out is to help solve this error.
Right. So it is here on. So yeah, it is here on GitHub. So that's where it was pulled in. Yeah, we're just trying to.
Because I can see a connection error in the article you sent me. They're saying create a database. So I'm not so sure if the reason why we're having this is because you have not created the database, or is it because of what?
Yeah, it could be.
So how do I do that?
I think you had the command there, didn't you? Like Docker compose run. Yeah.
And that web.
Yep.
The web is like, it's something our project knows.
The web is this as the name of the service. So before you had their it was run app in the Docker file before. But in this case, they've called it web.
So
The thing is the database should be created as part of the yeah. So it's giving the same error. I feel like there's definitely some. I've seen this error before, but I don't remember exactly what we did to get past it. I wonder if
Mhm.
mm-hmm. Where are you? Where's the where do you have the server running?
Mhm.
So you can see it's um you can see they're starting the local support database 1 and local support web 1. So those are the containers
Where?
at the below the Docker Compose app.
Mhm.
And sorry, can you stop that and it's you're getting a different error there than you were getting.
It's the same.
Um,
It's the same with what's on this website when I run there.
yeah, but I thought you were getting a different error that was talking about the dev at
But see, I told you I restored the database.yml. Oh, I restored it, so that error was not there anymore.
yeah. Yeah, because now yeah, I'm wondering if it's finding that database.yaml. I would think so. I mean, if I look at the way it's working on website 1, for example, which we know is working, like there's a couple things that are different. I guess like this volumes is different. So we could try doing that.
So,
You see, like here, it's the volume starts with DB volume, and then there's like another service down here, or it's not a service, another. I'm not sure what this is, what this would be called, but it has a volumes with the DB volume in here.
so I do the same thing.
I mean, it's an option. Like also this Docker file is not this database.yaml on local support is not good. It's way too long, you know. So because you have this like if environment Docker is blank else, and then you have like the same information repeated as you have repeated here, so it's not dry at all, you know. So this should be replaced with what we have here on website 1, which is that you have like you have here the environment DB host DB, and then you have in the database.yaml you have this one line here that's like you just have this or here instead of having all this other information repeated twice. So like you could copy this in, and then we can we can rebuild and see how it goes. You know, I mean, maybe we'll run into the same error, but we need to do that anyways because it's not clean to leave it the way it is. You know, there's no reason to have this all the same information repeated twice. You know. So I don't know if it's easier. How is it easier? The easiest way for you to? Because it would be identical to this website one file, except for the names of the databases, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's easy for you for if I just paste that in the chat.
I've already copied it.
Okay, you're on top of it.
Yes, it's just changing the names.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then the rest of that you can delete.
So, and cucumber, that's sorted.
Is that
Yeah.
okay?
Just have to.
Yeah, the cucumbers should be the same, isn't it? Oh, yeah, it should be the same. No?
Ah, sorry.
Cucumber is the same.
Yeah. So that's all.
And then then you want to add to the Docker Compose YAML, you want to add underneath the web, underneath depends on database, then you add that environment.
I should just copy the entire file, right?
No, on the website one, there's some things about JavaScript vendors and scripts and things like that we don't want to get into yet because it would be different.
So I just copy the environment.
Yeah. For now that, and then also there's going to be something else as well, but we'll get to that in a second.
Okay.
Can't copy it at the same time.
So under, well, where should I place it? Forgotten.
Under the depends on, at the very bottom actually of the file.
Okay, makes sense.
Yeah. And then also if you go back to the website one.
Okay. Two.
You see how on volumes, if you can copy that.
Copy under image.
Yep. Cool. And then one more thing to copy and paste.
Okay.
There on the line 20 and 21.
Okay. So I need the hollow.
Yeah. I mean, you could copy one more thing as well, but
no
we
problem.
might run into it or we might not. But on line 9, that line there's going to remove those because sometimes you'll run into errors where that's actually what gets past that error. Yeah, that's what gets past that error. You see that force remove that temporary /PIDs server.PID.
Yeah.
That's what, so it thinks that you still have a server running, and that's why it's causing that problem.
Oh, yeah.
Every time you run the command, you need to tell it to remove that file.
No wonder. So when I got that error, and all I had to do was come here and reset. Reset to factory default. So I had to start it again.
Yeah, I don't have fancy tools like you do, but I think so. Yeah.
Building ports. So
that you replace line 9 with that.
Okay.
Replace line 9, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because the second part is the same.
Okay. And then.
Okay, so now if you run Docker Compose up with a tag of --build.
What's the difference? Okay. Yeah, how different?
So if you do it like this, then this will rebuild, but it'll also start the server. So instead of doing Docker Compose build and then Docker Compose up, you can just do it in one command.
Okay. Will it still use the cache data? Oh yeah, it's still using it. Okay.
Yeah, because you didn't make any changes to the Docker file. You just made changes to the.
So I added a couple of stuff.
You know what you might need to do actually? Well, let's see if it works. You might need to say Docker Compose down and -v, which will remove any volumes. Because if you had volumes previously, anyways, let's see if it works.
So I should go and click on local support.
Yeah, go into localhost.
ls.
Yeah, so you might need to create. Yeah, so you can try creating the database now and see if it'll give you the
Okay.
same error.
So do that, right?
Yep,
So what is this web service and where is it from?
it's from your Docker Compose YAML. Oh, so it worked. Look at that.
Docker Compose YAML.
Yeah, there you go. You see there where it says services, and under services you have DB and web.
Okay.
So
Nice.
that web you can call app, for example. You can call it whatever you want, but then the command would change. So like if you work on RFM and do some stuff with Dockerfile and RFM, it's called like they have backend and front end are the name of the services. So then it would be the same command, but yeah. So I think you need to do the migrations as well, but that's kind of a weird error.
So how do I do that?
So you can just push up the up arrow, and then you just instead of DB
Oh,
create DB. There's always Docker Compose. It'll always be like you have other commands besides run, but yeah, when you do want to run something, then it'll be the same command with just then the name of the service. And okay, so now you've done that,
why
and you can.
why were you saying it's a weird error? Thought it's a valid error. Like
So
data.
it's an undefined table, which is probably because you haven't run the migrations. So you don't
Yeah.
have pages does not exist because.
But no, I'm saying you say that's weird. So I was wondering why.
We Dockerize local support.
Oh my god, that's it.
I think so. I mean,
Oh my. So I wanted to
probably.
show you what I did. I
Yeah.
had a previous error. Uh, halfway, I did halfway with the help of Sigu,
Mm-hmm.
Dockerfile. So for Linux users, there's something I think you did. There's something they do that I didn't know about. So Sigu had shown me. Anyway, this command, like doing this, I had to add line 5, 6,
All right.
and then this was now like
Ah, yeah.
line 7
Nice.
was there
Ah,
because of
yeah.
this. I didn't know how to like. Took me a while to
Yeah,
figure
yeah.
out how to do this. Anyway,
Yep.
so that's it. So it's just creating the readme.
I mean, I don't know. We need to play around with the websites because um, there might be things that are not working that we haven't seen yet. Like maybe you
Uh,
need to click on all the links. Like try to go to the events and see if the events you can click on events and see if you can click on organizations
I
and
can't see. Can you see events? Or I have to
no,
log in?
you shouldn't. Um, so, but I would also try to seed the database.
Okay. So I
And
don't know
yeah,
how to.
I'm interested in having a better look at the stuff you did because that comes from that's specific to local support. Like it's um, in the install um, instructions for local support for Linux users. Correct?
Yeah.
Like
Yep. Yep. Yep.
I remember going through that. So you install Ruby 2.5.0. You fork.
I can't hear you.
You can't hear me.
Okay, now I can.
Okay, go. So install the GNU IDN library. Okay, so that's good. You've done that. I think you can do. Maybe you can improve the. I don't know. I mean, maybe it's just a matter of opinion. But if you go back to your the Docker file.
Where are you, Docker file?
There we are. So
Yeah.
you.
Is that it?
Yeah, I think so. No?
No, it's not this one.
Oh, that's the website one Docker file.
It's here.
Yeah. Do you shouldn't need to have did you try it without using the semicolons? Because
No?
well, I don't know, maybe that wouldn't work. But like I was gonna say that you can use yeah, I mean, I don't know. I guess there's nothing wrong with that. I was just gonna say like that backslash you can use, but that's when you want to do new lines. So, and in this case, I don't know if there's any reason to do new lines. So yeah, I mean,
Another thing was,
you're
how comes I
gonna
can't see events?
that I don't know. We're still trying to figure that out. I was suggesting that maybe you seed it and see what happens when you try to seed it, because you
Okay,
don't have
can we
any
do?
log.
We can't do that using Docker.
Yeah, it's the same command. You just go up, and then instead of migrate, seed.
BBC.
Yeah, we need to be able to verify that you can do everything that you can do locally with the Docker instance, because otherwise, like, it's not so useful for us to try to use people. So it is reading information from the event seed. So maybe that's enough to cause a change in the browser.
Config.
Yeah.
Done. Yep.
Cool.
Let's confirm you.
Yeah, there we go.
Wow.
Look at that. So now, yeah, try to click through on all that stuff.
So okay, let's start from home. What can I do in home?
You can search for volunteer opportunities. You can.
We don't have a Ruby opportunity.
No. What?
I
We don't have a
know.
volunteer opportunity.
What can I search?
I think it was like tests project or something like that is one that does exist. And then you can click on that and see what happens if it takes you to the volunteer opportunity. Yeah. So the show page looks fine. You can click on one of the organizations to see if you can go visit the organization. Yeah, that works.
What else can I do? Go to organization description. Okay, that should be the same.
Yeah. You can try like I mean, I'm assuming that like I don't know what privileges you need to create an organization, but an event you need to be a super admin, so you can log in and try creating an event as a super admin.
And here, before I go to events, what happens here? Just displaying this.
I'm not sure, to be honest. I haven't played around that much with local support. So I kind of get to know the code base as I.
And here I am trusting you with all my life.
Yeah, I know, right? And then you find out that I don't know what I'm doing either.
What's this?
This is because you don't have it's not pulling in your Google Map API key.
So what should I do?
I'm not sure. You might have to like if. I guess we need to find out whether that's something that people will want to be able to have. Like, I guess you can do. It is optional, I guess. Like we were saying the other day. Although it did seem like it was necessary. It was actually an issue with running the migrations. So I'm not sure if it's something we need to worry about too much. We could, yeah, you need to add an organization. It might be something that we need to look at that. I helped to do that. that little.
So cool.
Yeah. And then can you click on edit the event? And it goes to the edit page.
So
Events.
now we have it. Imagine.
Yes. Now we have a Ruby event.
Yeah.
Yeah. Edit the event. Nice. Your event was successfully updated.
Oh, but why do I get this?
Yeah. So this is another issue that we need to work on local support. Is that when you click on the edit event, it comes here and the start dates are blank for some reason. Like it pulls in the information for the title and for the description, but it doesn't pull in the information for the date. So then you actually need to add the date every time. So that's not working the way it should work. So that's a ticket that we can work on local support if you are up to it.
Yes.
Did you actually get in the PR for that searching for only upcoming events?
No, I will do that.
Okay. I mean, yeah, if you want to pair on I guess maybe that issue is something that hasn't been created yet. So maybe we can create the issue and ask for people to vote on it as far as like fixing that that whole the dates are in the edit page by default. And then we could maybe work on getting that other one done and then start working on this other issue that we just noticed right now.
Okay. Should I do that now or
Pivotal tracker? Yeah, if you want. Why not?
Are we done testing?
I don't know. I don't know everything that you can do with this site, but I mean, I think it's safe to say that it's working properly. I was hoping it was going to be relatively straightforward like that, but I wasn't. I was hoping it was going to be relatively straightforward like that, but I was also like cautious that it would be, and and the fact that it was is amazing.
Do you want to be the owner? You're the requester.
It doesn't matter. Either way.
Okay, so we have started it and we have finished it.
Yeah, but
not yet. The README.
Yeah, we need to do the README, and also I think like we can ask Sam to give a review before we say it's finished. You know.
Oh yeah, true.
And we haven't even pushed. But
I thought, true. I thought you finish it, then you wait for you create a prayer and finish it. Then they have to review, accept it. Then now.
Yeah, it's possible. I'm still a little bit unclear on exactly what the right procedures are for local support.
Is it a local support procedure or is it a pivotal tracker procedure?
Well, it would be both, I guess. It says here we use Pivotal Tracker. We have integrated Pivotal Tracker GitHub workflow. So we've made the branch correctly. Then it says to put in a pull request. So maybe you need to push and put in a pull request. And then it says like for the pull request, your final git commit needs to include like at the end of the commit, you need to have like square brackets and say finishes and the number of the ticket.
Okay, and a commit. But that README, what else do we need to do?
I mean, also maybe I think there's an argument to make for removing any other references to Docker files or Docker composes or anything like that don't. And also like because this config.database.yaml is get ignored, it won't. It might not work when you push it up because it might be pointing to that the old Docker the old config. So maybe we need to do something about that before we. I'm not sure exactly. Like, do we remove it from the git ignore? I think that probably wouldn't be the right way to do it. But maybe we need to change the config dot. Maybe we need to instead of changing the database.yaml, maybe we need to change the data, like compare what our database.yaml looks like and what the database.yaml.sample looks like, because I think the way it works with having a sample. So do you understand what the motive for having like a database.sample
Yeah.
and get ignoring the other one?
And get ignoring the other one. It's because the sample one will be pushed. So you don't need to
Yeah, like, so I guess the reason, for example, RFM, and I think it's the same motives for this, is that different people have different like PostgreSQL setup, you know? So you have like some people who have different username and passwords than the project has. So you want the people to copy the database .yaml.sample or whatever, database.template.yaml, whatever, and then they can go changing. So then they'll have their own local database.yaml, and then they can change whatever they want, like their username and password, and then that username and password won't get pushed up and shared with the rest of GitHub. So I don't know. I mean, I think I'm trying to think, like, because it sounds like a separate ticket, but if we push up our code like this and someone tries to use it without sharing with them how to configure the database.yaml locally, then it won't work for them, or potentially it won't work. I guess I'm not sure. I would think that the good thing to do would be to change the database.sample or database.yaml.sample, and then add something in the Docker instructions, and maybe in the README in general, but in the Docker instructions for sure, that they should copy the database.yaml.sample into the config.database.yaml, and that way we know that they're going to have the configurations that we've tested out.
You've said so many things.
I know, right?
I'm lost.
I'm really good at that. I guess so. Can you go to the database.yaml.sample?
Okay. So remind me to continue this before.
Database.yaml.sample. Yeah, there you go. So, wow. Okay, so that sample is spelled Postgres wrong. So
why?
Maybe.
Where? Oh wow. This.
I mean, my guess is that someone started this and they didn't actually finish it.
Actually, that's true.
It's exactly the same, right?
I have my username has been spelled correctly. So I guess part of the changes that were made, like between when I cloned this repo and when this person created this, like something happened. Because if I made a copy, then I should see the same error. So I think this was done recently.
Well, actually, you copied that from well, maybe, I don't know. But I guess the point is that it's sufficiently like the same thing. The only difference is the host, right? So I think that, I mean, I'm comfortable. I don't know how you feel, but I'm comfortable replacing this database.template.sample with the database that we know works.
So by that you mean have one that has this change, right?
Yeah, you can just copy and paste the whole thing, like, and replace whatever's in the. because then it'll have the username spelled correctly, for example.
I want to see who did this.
Yeah, it's good to blame somebody.
What is that thing? I don't know where I was communicating this sample. Okay. And
so then I think, so now that we have this sample set up the way that it should work for people locally and for people, and well, I guess that's another thing to test is that having changed the database.yaml to what we have is to actually test, like stop the Docker, everything that you're doing in Docker, like the Docker server and all that, and then just try to locally connect to using the same database.yaml file that we've now changed, and make sure that works okay. It should, but that's partially because we figured it out having, like, I didn't do that, and I thought my changes wouldn't affect people doing things locally, and it did, you know.
I've just forgotten this. I was supposed to go back to the previous branch.
Yeah, you have 2 different branches. Oh, okay.
Yeah. So if I go to the other one,
I don't think it'll let you. I think you'll have to git stash and then go to the other one and git stash apply.
Okay, what's the other branch?
Docker 1.5. No, not that.
I started
it's like the issue number, which is in local support. Yeah, there you go. Nice.
So it was 15.
Yeah.
1588.
Yeah.
So
did it let you?
Yeah, it has allowed me to.
And what about the changes? Are the changes still there?
Yep, they should be there.
Weird. Why does it let you change and it doesn't let me change?
I think because whatever
cool.
I have, I don't know.
Because when I try to change in between branches, it doesn't let me. It says like dash your change.
I get that at times, but I'm not so sure in what instances. So database.sample needs to have the extra line. Makes sense.
Did you understand what I was saying about making sure that sure that it locally?
Yeah. You want me to stop the server and run?
Yes.
Like normally.
I mean, you don't have to do it right now if you want to do it later, but if you still have a minute, like I would like to confirm that. And then
me too. Do you want to rush somewhere?
No.
Okay.
When my food's ready, I'll let you know. But I guess like, so assuming that that didn't break anything. Yes.
I stop this, right?
Yep. Please.
And
then run Rails S. Yeah.
Drum rolls.
We don't have to assume anything because we can just wait for it to up.
So
I'm
not sure if I have 3.5.1. I do have it.
Yes, you have to have it if you want to work on website 1.
3.1. And then I think I'll have to bundle.
Yeah, I think so.
Let me just see the error.
Yeah.
Maybe because I'm cool, it was going to.
You might have had to do that. Well, anyways, no, I think. Never mind. Never mind. It's really nice working with you on this because like you actually have the it working locally. Like if we were working with someone who is trying to to get it to work because they couldn't do things locally, then it would be more difficult to check this kind of stuff.
Yeah, true.
This is the one where you always take a deep breath, but I guess it's working for you. So hopefully this will work. And then we can create instructions for people to copy the database dot config
I think we have that.
Do we?
Yeah, because how did I?
No, I actually verified that it's it's actually in the GitHub repo. So when you cloned it, you got that that config.database.yaml. Yeah, it's not there. I had a look.
So how did I make a copy? Or it was through word of mouth?
Just go back to the code.
The code?
Yeah. No, sorry, the on GitHub. So go up to the top, go click on code, yeah. And then go to config, the config file, the config directory, yeah. And then go to database.yaml. So that was actually part of the project before it was get ignored. So that's what I was going to get at is that so the idea is that if you put we need to put instructions in the Docker README, and we also need to put in a ticket to delete this database.yaml, and then we'll go and delete it. And so I believe that when we ask people to copy the when we ask people, for example, Mike has already cloned the repo, right? And he's going to want to use Dockerfile. When we tell him to copy the sample into the database.yaml, it's my understanding that it will replace whatever was in there previously with the right. So and then we'll put in another ticket to remove it altogether, and add those instructions to people who are going to be new contributors. This probably will give you an error because you need to sign in. Yeah. Oh, but it works. Yeah.
Yeah. So
we verified that it doesn't break for anyone locally.
Yeah. Should you swiftly move to creating this and creating that other ticket? Are we going to write the README now?
You're going to write the README? Okay.
Solid information when you edit. Is this the best title to give?
I don't know. I can have a look. I know that Sam made a really similar ticket on the website one for if you want me, I can have a quick look at what he puts, like how he described it. He said, ensure that when we paginate through a project search when we paginate through a project search by language, that the language is still selected in dropdown. So I don't know if that makes it's different, I guess, but ensure that when we edit an event, the start date and end date are still selected, or something like that. I don't know, because yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Awesome.
So I have added a screenshot.
Nice. Awesome.
Of the current issue.
Yeah.
I guess I will give.
Yeah, that's it.
And then save. And then I wanted to create another one.
Yes, add stories, add stories, add stories.
Delete. The node.
Smelly. Yeah, and update README to, or you can add that in the description, or update
So
README to.
we are still going to do the same thing. The updating of the README to for somebody to copy. Oh yes.
Yeah,
Fine.
yeah, it'll be the same
Yeah.
because it works locally or with Docker.
So this task is to delete the file is the HTML file and update README. That's fine, right?
Yep.
And then we could go
I
to
mean, I don't know if it's I mean, I feel like maybe it's something that we can put both of these there for people to vote on and maybe just tackle ourselves. But
how do we put that?
so the voting, the way you get people to vote is
Should that happen when we're having a call, or should I just randomly ask people to vote?
no. You actually, the voting happens asynchronously, something like. Is that the right way to put it? I'm not sure. So the way you do that, I'm just trying to see if I find it in the README. It's contributing. No, it's not in the contributing. That's weird. So maybe we need to update the
So handle automate.
I mean, the README in general needs probably a overhaul. But
Where is
you
this? Where is what? I just created stuff. So I need to add a tag. That's Riga friendly. Friendly.
So it's not here in the README. I'm not sure if they want to update the README. It just says like if you're interested in working on something that doesn't have an estimate on how difficult it is, coordinate with the project manager. But if you go to the Slack channel for local support, you can scroll up a little bit and you can see what the way that you can get people to vote on Slack, which is basically by doing I think it's backslash and voter, and then /voter, and then the name of the ticket. So for example, ensure blah blah blah, and don't say okay, and then you right after that like space, and then you give the URL to the story, and then that will come up with this async voter Azure production. Will come up with the thing for people to actually vote.
You said so many things. Are you looking at my screen?
Yep. So /voter, and then the name of the title of the vote, of what you want voted on. So you can copy and paste the title from. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I feel like this is something that people are gonna all vote one on. Yeah.
So is it a recommend that we vote on each and every task, or?
I think so.
Okay.
Even the ones that are supposedly really simple, or you don't need to put those in square brackets. I don't know.
So that then.
And then a space, and then the URL to the issue. So if you go there and expand the issue, and copy the URL.
Like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Then enter.
And yep. Woohoo! Awesome! Hey!
And
Oh,
then
oh, dang.
the same.
I'm gonna go ahead and vote. Awesome. And you're gonna do the same for the, yeah. I mean, I guess my feeling is that would be simple as well, but I'm not sure. I don't know if I understand why it's not working the same way that um, why it's not working the same way as the name and description is, you know?
Hmm?
I'm talking about a bread. We made 2 loaves of French bread
Oh my god.
and haven't had lunch yet, so our breakfast yet. Well, I guess we had breakfast. We had a bowl of fruit. We shared a bowl of fruit. Awesome. Look at this. Ah, faith, 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 faith. Nice.
So should we do the readme?
Um, which readme?
Or
Sorry.
readme of the
Yeah, if you want. I think basically you're gonna kind of copy what you wrote on the other one, but change it accordingly. Or
so I go to Floripa. Has it been merged? The Heptagon.
yep,
Oh,
yes,
nice.
it has been merged. I'm gonna be talking about Dockerizing website one on at that conference that it's exactly a month away. I have 1 month to prepare for giving a talk, 45-minute talk in front of a bunch of people.
Nice.
I'm kind of
Oh
nervous.
my god. Don't be. So I want to go to this. I want to go to docs installation. Oh, there was an installation doc before.
Yeah, this is the thing I guess that I was talking about as well. Is I think that we probably can remove those because those are not relevant anymore. Like you could probably remove that whole directory actually.
Thank God. So
So I,
I need to like get a bearing from how it looks
yeah,
on the,
yeah, exactly.
so I can see, yeah,
Yeah. So then the person's going to click on installation notes, and then that will take them to the page that you want to.
yeah. So installation,
Yeah.
I
Right.
will
Yeah. Maybe right before platform
platforms.
specific.
Okay,
Yeah.
come and find platform.
Mike is wanting to join us.
He is welcome.
Yes, I thought you might say that.
I changed
You're
my
such,
mind.
yeah, such a welcoming person, Faith.
I changed my mind.
No, you don't want any more. Don't want any more help. Help. Yeah, I mean, he might come on and ask questions about what we did and how we,
No, of course.
and we'll
So
have to explain things.
don't call me. Let me pick. Let me just tell. I think somebody's looking for me.
Yep. La 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 la.
So I've just received $1 million.
Woohoo! You still
So
haven't given me an update on how things went with your.
I don't know yet.
Oh, really?
Weirdly.
That's probably why you haven't given me an update.
Yeah. So I don't know if I should tell people they have two options of setting up.
Yeah, I think
Right.
that's a good option. That's a good option. Something else that I thought about that. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. Let's say it.
I was just thinking about the fact that I guess I need to go through this contributing to local support or installation, because yeah, I mean that seemed quite easy, you know. And I was wondering, like, because so there's one thing in our Docker file that I talked about, the DOS to Unix, that I said that I don't know if we actually need, and then so yeah, right. So there's a whole there's a whole README about the Docker instructions that you can that hasn't, but I think we in the installation developing with docker.md.
Sorry?
There's a README
In
under
local
docs.
support.
Yeah, docs/installation/developing with Docker. But yeah, I think it's all kind of old instructions. So I think you probably won't want to use any of that.
So
Although, I mean, you could have a look at it and see if there's anything that you want to. Yeah, I mean, like running the application with Docker compose build. But the thing is they don't need to do that. Like they just need to do Docker compose up. So yeah, I don't know. I don't think there's anything. I mean, I hate to say there's not anything, because there's different things about like seeing all the currently running containers, but you know, all that stuff. I think maybe the person can just look on the Docker file for that. So yeah, probably better to make your own, but maybe, yeah, I don't know. Anyways.
okay, you could then so it's last time of your speech where you have to repeat what you just said.
Just because I'm kind of thinking out loud, because I feel like someone went to a lot of work to create this this Johnny Moorbacher.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like he went to a lot of work to create this. So I was just and instead of you going to a lot of work, I was just trying to think if there's anything that you can reuse. Like, I mean, maybe this running the tests you could reuse.
So I could go copy, then you look at my screen as we flesh out.
Hey, Mike.
Hi, Mike.
Mike doesn't want to talk to us, huh?
Yeah.
Mike wants to talk. Hi guys. Yeah. So how much have I missed?
Kind of everything.
Yeah, looks like everything.
The good news is that you should be able to get set up on to work on local supports, because we've kind of gotten Docker up and running and you're able to use. So right now the only thing that we were doing is we're gonna change the setup the README for people to have instructions on how to use. And the other thing is that I was suggesting that we maybe have a think about whether we can clean up the the Docker file, because I don't think we're using that DOS to Unix, Faith.
Okay.
And I was trying to go through the in the background, I was trying to go through the installation setup for Linux and see if there's anything so it doesn't seem like there's anything that we need to, there's nothing that we need to run. Yeah, so I guess not. So yeah, that I mean, we need a Windows user to try it to see if it works for people using Windows.
Okay, how long is the video?
We started at, was it 6:15? Yeah, 6:15.
Okay.
Yeah, and this is part two. We had part one. Part one wasn't that long. Part one was like 40 minutes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
So Matt,
Yeah.
where's the README of the Docker?
Sorry. So it was under the Docker folder, and
So,
you're in.
which I deleted. So let me just go to the.
No, sorry, not the Docker. It was an installation. Yeah. Not the installation / doc. Oh, it was right there actually. Yeah, doc.
No, this is another one. Installation.
Installation, yeah. And then developing with. Yeah, there we go.
So Control copy. So I have created a new folder called Docker.
Okay.
And we are going to add, I've seen some really cool stuff with how you did the Docker, like this setup.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're going to need all that.
Potentially. I mean, if you'd like to.
Probably not. Okay. So we start.
I was just wondering, because the way it's if you need to copy this and paste it there, because the way it's set up right now is that if the person clicks on the Docker link from the installation instructions README, like if you go back to the README on GitHub. So you see how it has a Docker platform specific instructions, Docker. If you click on that, that automatically leads to the README.
Nice.
So instead of creating a new one, maybe we could just edit that.
Okay. Oh, makes sense. So I don't need to do this other thing. Okay. I don't know. Where's the docs? I made changes somewhere. Yeah. Nope. Okay. I don't know where I made changes. Here. Okay. Fine.
I mean, you could totally.
I don't know where it is. Oh, here. So undo it. Installation.
Yeah.
I don't know that.
I didn't notice that they had that.
So I don't need to do this again. I don't need to have this, right?
No, I don't think so.
Let's see.
Just if you, I mean, just if you want to, I guess just if you want to, if you're planning on adding scripts to that file, that folder, and
we could do that.
I don't know. You could talk about that later.
Yeah, so you've said I go to installation. I don't know where I'm supposed to go.
Docs installation. There you go. Yeah. Developing with Docker. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, this is the thing, is there's a lot of information here to go through, but
should I remove line 3?
I think so. Like maybe all of that. Yeah. Make sure Docker is installed and set up. So the recommended way to have Docker installed is, I don't think, is Docker Toolbox anymore. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's no longer, unless you have if you're Windows users, if you have a version 7 or 8, but if you're Windows Pro or 10 plus and Mac users, you don't need to.
Yeah.
I think what I could do is go copy those links because I think I did something similar.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. I like the way you did it, like where, yeah, exactly like that, you know?
Okay.
There's nothing wrong with that.
So
I mean, I don't think there's any reason to have a really long README when you're just going to be copying and pasting from another website. Like they can visit that website, you know.
sure. So all this.
Yeah,
What?
because you don't want to be
This
creating
guy
a
did.
virtual.
This guy did all these things.
Yeah, it's quite a lot, you know. I mean, it's probably because it was 2 years ago, and things have taken a big step forward since 2 years. Like you don't need Docker machine. Well, actually, maybe Docker machine is for Windows users. Although I think the way that it's working, Michael has a. I mean, it goes back to something that we had talked about already. Faith and maybe Mike, you would be interested in being involved in. Should we try to get a virtual machine installed on one of our computers or all of our computers and try, pretending like we're Windows users and making sure things work out with the instructions that we are giving to people,
Yeah. So in the meantime, I think I'll just delete it.
Yeah, I agree.
In the event that we need it, we can just go to look, take a look at that commit.
Exactly.
And
I think
then
about that.
this.
I think that as well. Why aren't we using Docker for Mac? I don't think that has anything to do with. No. Alias. I don't think you want an alias either because we're not using Docker machine. No.
What's that thing? This?
Yeah, that I don't know. It says putting your browser to the thing, so I don't think so. Under normal conditions, this IP will be, so instead of visiting, no, that's not
from
correct
where?
either.
Where should I delete it from? From line?
I think all the way up until it says the application uses Docker Compose. So yeah, there from there all up, delete. You might want to leave that. The application uses Docker Compose. But that's the thing, like the person doesn't need to build it.
Okay.
Like I don't think.
Okay, so I don't have that. You said so. From where? Do I need this? Oops. Okay. Do I need to do this?
I guess it depends on. Do you want to just copy those scripts and then give them the same information that you have in website one?
So I go copy this.
I mean, maybe, yeah.
All this.
Yeah. You need line one as well.
Sorry.
You need line one as well.
Should I? And how do I?
So then I guess you would probably do a Docker folder directory, and in the Docker directory create a.
Okay.
You could do a command line as well if you want.
So inside here.
No. Inside in the root of the project, create the Docker directory, and then inside of the Docker directory, you create 3 files.
Capital or small d?
I think small. Most of the directories are, I think all the directories are lowercase.
Setup.sh. Setup. That is setup. Copy, that is start. I'll copy stop. Stop.sh. Okay.
Cool.
So
And then you should just be able to follow your instructions.
my instructions. Where are your instructions? This has already been done, not yet.
I don't think we have end files in local support, do we?
Okay, we do not. I do not. So I should
Yeah.
do this.
Yep.
Beware.
Yep.
Execute this setup. Should I start from here?
Yep.
And then start the application.
Yes, Mike.
Start the application, stop those Dockers, what is done in the following environment.
I think we could add to that as well, like because we have tested an environment,
True.
but
True.
maybe we could ask. I could add there like the where I've tested it.
I removed from here.
Yeah. No, yeah, there would be, yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Perfect. Yes, Mike. Did you have something?
And run the test.
What else do we have to Dockerize?
I mean, potentially we could Dockerize everything on website one, but I think we would need to talk to the project owner. So
yeah,
I'm trying to think, like, I don't know. Can I'll have to get back to you.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, sorry, don't mean to make you feel left out. You know?
Yeah. No. Actually, I'll just watch the videos and
let me rush to the toilet.
It actually was really straightforward, and I can send you a link to the I mean, you'll see, but I can send you a link to the yes. Sorry.
I went to rush to the toilet. I'll be back.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, Mike, I can send you the link to the Docker. It's like if you just search Docker Docker Rails getting started, for example, and there's a quick start compose. It's a document on doc/docker. So we basically just followed that those instructions, and you can actually the instructions actually give you how to Dockerize starting from a new Rails project. So it might be a good practice for you to actually create a new Rails project and start it from, so you can practice your Dockerizing skills and practice like starting a new Rails project and go playing around with with making a simple Rails application.
Actually, this is nice. I see they also have things with other stacks as well, like Django, SP, or everything that maybe I need. Yeah, I think this is nice.
Yeah, it's really, I mean, and this is where I started for the Dockerization of website one, and like there are definitely some things I learned along the way, like that are not here, but it's a really good start. It goes through and explains things really well, rebuilding the application, restarting it, like about the different parts and how to rebuild and restart the app at the same time. And they have with Django, WordPress, lots of other.
Yeah.
So
okay, I think this is nice. Thanks.
Yeah, no worries. And then obviously we'll want to get you testing to make sure it works for you locally. And there's a couple other tickets that Faith put there that we need to vote on and then start working on. So yeah.
Okay, that's okay. I think I'll follow the README that she's putting up there and try having my Docker on my local, like try having local support up and running.
Yeah, cool.
And then yeah, I think.
I mean, I guess the other thing is that we haven't figured out yet that I mean there are potentially still stuff to do on this. I don't think we're ready to say like it's done and we don't need to work on it anymore, because one of the things that's not working in the Docker version is it's not copying the stuff from the config/application.yaml into the Docker file. So I mean, maybe we can do that even before or later today or something. I don't know. At some point, I'm going to need to go eat. So, but yeah, like we ideally we want that working so that I mean, I'm not sure. I guess it's not a requirement to develop locally is to have the map work, but the other thing is, I guess, Faith, that we haven't talked about is we haven't got it, like we haven't run the tests from within the Docker container and make sure that the tests are passing or failing, and if they're failing for a specific reason, because we don't want to be telling people like, hey, just run Docker Compose run, and on line 52 you need to change that run app to run web.
Is it the test is in the web directory?
That's the service, and the service is, we don't have any service called app. We only have web. So I mean, that's something that you could try as well. Like, you don't need to be connected to the server, although you might get failing tests if you're not. So you know, definitely something to test out. And then on line 55, you need to change because
move it.
Well, you can now. You just change it to localhost. You don't have to just change the first part, 192.168.92. Just change that in both those places to localhost.
I don't need this.
Maybe. I mean,
being efficient. Yeah,
so about starting and stopping the VM, no, you don't need that.
In this part, I guess 61.
Yeah, 60. I mean, probably you might leave 61 just for a second to see if there's anything that's useful.
On occasion, things will get weird. Cases and questions.
Yeah, I mean, all that until killing all running containers you can get rid of. So I guess, yeah, when things get weird as well, you can get rid of, because the idea is that that Docker machine stop is going to do the same thing as the stop.sh script that we've told people to run when they want to stop it. So yeah, all that stuff. Is uncommon that you'll want to nuke all running containers in Docker, I suppose. But I mean, I think it's probably a lot for a README. Like they probably, I mean, we might want to put something in there about you know, if you're having any issues, please visit the Docker documentation and look for instructions or something like that. But I don't know. I guess it's a judgment call.
Stop that. If you're getting if the error is obvious to fix and your fix doesn't fix it, visit the documentation.
Also, what does nuke mean? Nuclear? What does nuke mean?
I guess, yeah, like yeah, it's like destroy.
Oh, okay.
Stop actually is more like it, because Docker kill is not going to destroy it; it's just going to stop it. I mean, I don't know. I think maybe you can just get rid of the rest of the README. Maybe I don't know. You can check what's gets below that, aliases and stuff like that. But,
I remove this. I remove this.
also, I guess one.
Or am I deleting something? I delete all this.
I think so. I mean, I don't. I'm not like the definitive voice, but like, yeah. I mean, the migrations we're already doing with part of the script. That Docker Compose run web bash maybe can be helpful. You know, it's possible to jump into a container to diagnose issues starting on line 104.
So I delete from. Let's. So this is fine. I remove this, right?
Yeah.
Killing. I don't need to do this. See.
I mean, that's useful as well. Like, to be honest, I mean,
This
there's nothing
one.
wrong.
Killing.
No, that you can get rid of probably. I don't know, maybe. That's good.
Okay. See.
Yeah, so that's nice. That if you're unable to bind port already in use, I'd recommend to see if a container already reserved that port and kill it if necessary. Although you did just delete the stuff about killing, but you do, yeah. That we do have that command that that removes those, but that's only happened at the beginning when the person runs the build. So maybe you could leave that in there. Also as well, like I don't know who this person is who made these changes, but if he comes back, it might be nice to have some of the stuff that he put there still here instead of just nuking everything that he did.
It's like me coming back a few months later.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're like, wow, you know. Aliases, I don't know. I don't think you need to have anything about aliases.
I don't need this.
Yeah, anything about that. Yeah, get rid of that. And then change the running migrations you can get rid of. But
Have I included the
migrations are happening as part of the script.
Yeah, true.
And then you
line
on 8. No, you have a terminal. Yeah, that you leave. On line 86 though, change the app to web. Yeah.
And then what is bash?
Bash will give you a bash terminal.
Okay. So that's it.
The other thing is that we need to do, Faith, is we need to verify. You need to start up the. I mean, maybe at some point run that script to make sure that it's going to work for people, which will take a little bit of time because it's going to go through all of the. It's not going to use any caching or anything like that, and it's going to go through everything again. But what you need to do is to make sure that when you make changes locally to the code, like change the name of like one of the headers or something like that, make sure that that's actually, you can just refresh the page and that will be reflected.
What's that? So what are you saying? The last thing that you said. I need to confirm that.
Yeah, you need to confirm that making changes to one of the files, like after you have everything up and running, so maybe go through the setup, run that command that you're telling people to run to make sure that it works, and then go there and make a change to something like the header of one of the events, the events index page, for example, or the whatever. It can be any page, the volunteer ops index page, and then make sure that when you go to the browser and you hit refresh, that it's actually showing the results that you changed without rebuilding it.
Okay, so I run this command and make the change.
Yeah, because let me have a look at yeah, I think it should work, because the reason it wasn't working on website 1, I think, is because we removed something from the Docker Compose YAML that we actually wanted there, and we removed it for some reason. I'm not sure why. And yeah, so it should work the way you have it set up, but just that's something that a pitfall that we ran into.
Okay. So, are you looking at my screen?
Yes, I am.
So that's the command I should be running.
Yeah. So now you're going to nuke everything. Permission denied. Okay. Well, that's good. So I close this information.
No, I think it's because of
I like the word nuke.
Yeah.
Yeah, often Donald Trump says we are going to nuke North Korea.
who is that? Why are you? Why are there are 3 people in the call, but only 2 people are laughing.
Sorry.
Yeah, maybe the other one has been nuked.
Yeah.
I'm saying there are 3 people in this call, but only 2 are laughing. So, what's the nuke word?
Nuke, you know, Nuke. The nuke all the running containers. Yeah.
Okay.
It's
So
uncommon if you want to do it.
you've said that is it
Yeah,
because
you should follow the advice of the README, which you've done, and you've gotten a permission denied. So that's good information. You know, we want to know why.
yeah, it's because of the folder. So we're in Docker. Where are we? We're installation. We're in docs. And I asked people to move. What? So I have to do this.
Well, but yeah,
No.
I mean, you're in the root of the, but you're in the root of the project, so that shouldn't be it. So add the but you need that dot and / means that like in the current directory, find the file called Docker and then find the file called setup.sh and run it. So that command is correct, that you've put there, and that should work. Why it's not working, I'm not sure. Like you can check the permissions of that file, of that directory, and see why you don't have permissions to.
How do I check the permissions?
You go to the command line.
Okay.
And you can do something like ls, for example, but then that should have the Docker folder there. And then you can say ls minus space hyphen la. Actually, that's on Linux. I don't know if that'll work on Unix as well. Yeah. So then you can see there Docker. So it's a directory, it has read, write. So it's owned by Faith, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Faith should have permissions.
So it has nothing to do with.
So maybe you need to check the permissions on that setup.sh.
I'm here, but I don't think. How do you do that?
Same way. Just go there so cd into the Docker file. Directory. Yes. Or if you don't need to. I think in Zish you actually do have to say cd. No, I was playing a little bit with Zish in Codio. Now say ls minus.
Because it couldn't, because Docker is like another keyword, so it thinks I want to run.
You're saying you're playing with?
Codio. I was playing with Zish in Codio.
What's Zish?
Zish is the shell she's using.
Oh yeah, okay.
I thought you used it as well.
No, I use bash.
So you need to change the permissions there.
Oh.
Because you see that you don't have there's no execution. It's not an executable file.
How do I know it's an exec? Is it because of this X?
Yeah, exactly.
Yes. Nice.
Or I don't know if it's that X or the other X, but yeah. So
the first three RWX is for the owner, then the R-X is for the group. and then the
Start
r
again.
x
Start again.
others.
Start
Which
again.
which directory are we looking at?
I don't know.
So the D stands for directory.
Yeah.
Yep.
Then the dash means just a file. So
A dash. I
yeah.
see a D, then R. I don't
No,
see a dash.
I mean in the next line. In the next line.
The next line.
Yeah, the next row. So there's you see the first column on the ls. The first column is like the file type. It signals the file type. When you do ls-la, then it comes out as so you'll get rows of stuff. Then the very first column signals the where D is.
Yeah.
It signals the file type. So whether it's just a file or a directory. So D means directory. Then when you move lower, you'll find a dash.
Makes
Means
sense.
it's a file.
Then
So if you're looking at a file, like there are three. There are normally three owners of the file. The real owner, the owner who created the file, which gets the first three permissions. Like if you get the dash, then rw dash. RW dash, that's for the owner who is you, and then the next three are for the group. So like anyone who is a member of that group can access those permissions. So in your case, the group can only access the read permissions. They cannot write the commit execute.
makes sense.
And then the third is others. Others means the processes, anyone who can run a file in your system. So if it's maybe the process that are running in your machine, maybe other users who are not part of the group that is tough, because you can have other members who are not part of that group. So that takes the last. So normally, if you want to add the permissions to maybe the specific file, I think you'll do chmod.
Yeah, you're gonna need to do it as a sudo.
Yeah, as a sudo.
So what should I do?
Sudo. Then you do chmod, chmod.
Chmod.
Yeah.
I do this.
No,
one line. One word.
Yeah.
Then get rid of the E.
Yeah.
And then space plus X. To that file, or maybe what permissions do you want to add, Matt?
Right. Is it right?
I don't know actually. I mean, I think that's what I was suggesting to do. I thought it was X plus, but maybe plus X or either one. But then you would say the file setup.sh, and then you would need to do that for start.sh and for stop.sh as well. Yeah, you probably can do it at the same time.
Yeah, or maybe you could have just done star. Yeah.
Sure.
Then you do your password.
And then you can balance at the same time. You don't even know your password.
It's the little one that has confused me.
So yeah, exactly. Check again to see if it changed. Please.
Oh, okay.
Please.
Yay.
Cool. So now you can see that it's executable by everyone, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I guess that's probably okay. I guess what you probably don't want is for other people to be able to write to it, maybe. Yeah, you want to.
How should I do that?
No, it's so right now the only one that can write to it is the owner, which is you. So I think that's what you want right there. And now you need to you'll need to go back to the root of the project and run that command.
Oh, makes sense. Who will start? Who will start singing?
Singing.
Yeah, you said it's going to take a while.
And it'll take a little bit. But while that's, I mean, if you want to watch it, we can watch it. But also, I guess the question is that one of the questions I have is if that DOS to Unix is actually necessary.
Where is it? You've been saying that thing for so long.
In the Docker file.
The Docker file, Docker compose, Docker file.
Docker file.
Okay. Where is it? Line?
It's there on line 3 at the end of the line, DOS to Unix. So we're not actually using that. But the thing is that I'm questioning, because the way you've written the README is if you're a Windows user and you're trying to run that script, you probably can't, because if I understand the problem correctly, the problem is that when you have like a bash script, there's a difference between the line endings between DOS and Unix. So you need to actually convert those. So maybe it is that Windows users won't be able to use those scripts if you're, I think, I don't know. I mean, I can ask Michael for clarification because I'm not 100%, but what I will say is that right now you're not actually using that. So the fact that you're not actually using it leads me to believe that you should probably delete it.
And no one else uses it, like no other user.
No, that's only like, go there and search, do a quick Google search for DOS to Unix and let's have a look together.
Actually, I was just having that problem yesterday with the
that tool to convert line breaks.
Yeah, you can go. There's that text file formatters in the second link, maybe, or either one. The first one was download.
I had the same problem.
Yeah.
I was helping a friend figure out something yesterday.
Yep.
And since he was working on Windows, I could completely not. I was getting that issue with the line break thing.
Yep.
Yeah. So I did not help him. I did not figure it out. So maybe it's
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it's good to have a read of this. So what the update, Benjamin, implementation of DOS to Unix and Unix to DOS. They were distributed, blah, blah, blah. No, say okay, blah, blah, blah. These implementations have been modeled after blah, blah, blah. First versions were made, blah, blah, and say okay. Features. Yeah. So like, I guess if you look at my screen for a second, we have in here this DOS to Unix, which is where you copied the stuff from, because later in the Docker file on line 21, we're running this DOS to Unix on this script here, which copies the JavaScript dependencies. So if I go to copy JavaScript dependencies, you can see here that we have this here. I believe is the reason why we need the DOS to Unix. Because it's just different in Unix than it is in DOS. But since we're not doing that as part of the Docker file, we're not actually invoking for this to run this at all. Okay. So I think we don't need it we don't need to install it. Although maybe we need some clarification on whether or not we should be telling people to run the script if they if Windows users can't use that. Like, I think like Michael was able to figure it out without using the scripts because he's used Docker before. But if we're trying to make it to where we just want the person to run the script, then we're assuming that this person has a Unix. And maybe that's not a good assumption, because a lot of people who are going to be using this are Windows users probably. So I guess we need to maybe remove that, and then we need to like question whether, not question maybe, but we need to update the README to give people who are Windows users like the commands necessary to be able to get it up and running, which I guess would be build and up, and the migrations. Not sure, but I do need to go eat. So I'm happy to continue doing some stuff later if you want. But I haven't eaten today, and it's already 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So.
Okay, so how later is later?
I mean, as soon as I get done eating, I can ping you. I don't know exactly how long it's gonna take, but I'm not gonna spend a lot of time doing it. So.
Okay.
I mean, if you want to keep going, and I can see if you still have stuff to do,
I need to eat as well.
Rejoin you, because I guess the thing is that we want to verify by rerunning this is, you know, I guess potentially we should have removed that DOS to Unix before we rerun it. But anyways, like we want to verify that to actually go to the code somewhere and change the wording of the after it's up and running, after you start the server, then go and change. Like you could change the README if you wanted to, but I would probably do something that the user is going to see, like a header on one of the pages, and make sure that when you refresh the page, the person can actually see the changes.
Okay.
Again, I think that should work, but I mean, I suppose if that's the only other thing that you're going to do right now, I can hang out for 2 more minutes because it's almost done.
Okay. Please.
Is there anything else you can think?
Is there anything else
that you can think of?
No.
I mean, there is. I guess there is for me. There is. I still do have questions about maybe more project-related questions than. But I'm wondering, like, we have a package.json that we're not copying over, I guess, or are we? Maybe we are copying over when we copy everything. And like this whole node check version, like this is a thing. Like, why are we're telling people they have to have a specific node version? So where are we actually using the node for this project?
Huh.
Like we're using it for something.
Yeah, we're using it for something.
So what do we need to do to make our Docker file fail? Like, because is that part of the install instructions? Is that we're telling people to install node?
Yeah, let me see. We had some. All they're doing is
That's cool. Yeah, so they do need to do an npm install. So okay, so that's something that we're not doing. So the Docker file is not ready yet, even though it looks like it's all working in the browser. There's something that's not going to be working. I don't know what, but there's something. So what we need to do is we need to there's some stuff that I have here in the website one that we just need to copy over, and then that should work. But yeah, like I'll have to do that after I eat. So I'll just wait a second to verify that last bit is working, because it's already done the seeding, so it's pretty much done. Yep. Now you can run the.
What should I do next? Should I run
the same command but with start instead of setup?
Oh.
Make sure we didn't break anything.
Okay.
All right. So then go there and.
I should stop it.
Yeah, I mean that should, if you click, yeah, so that's working. So now go, I don't know, you can go to volunteers. So go to the volunteers index in the code and change Haro volunteering opportunities to, you know, something like Haro volunteering opportunities, changed, edited in Docker container or something like this, you know, whatever makes sense. Yep. And then go back to the browser and refresh the page. Yeah, cool. Awesome. So that just worked because, yeah, that was more difficult for us in website 1 because of some changes that we made that were not the right changes. So yeah, so that's cool. That works. I guess I'll go eat, and then the next step is getting npm installed. If you want to keep working on it, I'm fine with that. You know.
So I'm going to eat as well.
Okay, cool.
So maybe I will let you know when I'm back, and you can do the same. Then we can meet again.
Yeah, Mike, do you want to create the next event then?
Yeah, sure. Is it still on local support? So
yes, Dockerization.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe half an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe.
Is that okay with you guys?
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
What did Matt say?
We create another event. Then he suggested 1 hour.